Okay, today I'm going to teach you about compound inequalities. The good news is it's very similar to just the regular inequalities that you just did. But compound means it's like two inequalities, as it says here, joined by the word joined by the words and or. Okay, so you just have two solutions that you need to graph. Okay, so the first example we have is an or inequality. So let's just solve for x. So I get x is less than -3. Or x is greater than 1. Now remember here, when you divide by a negative, you have to flip that sign. Both of my circles will be open, so I have a circle at -3 and a circle at 1. When you have an or inequality, that typically means you'll be shading out. Kind of like a pair of oars, if anyone's into kayaking or canoeing. So it's less than -3 or it's greater than 1. Those are our two solution sets to this inequality. Okay? Number 2, an and inequality. Let's solve for m. I have m is greater than or equal to 1. And m is less than 3. So I have a closed dot or circle at 1. I have an open circle at 3. Now when you have an and inequality, you just shade between them. So it's a less than 3 and it's greater than or equal to 1. So all of the numbers in this region right here would be solutions to these inequalities. Okay? Now example 3 looks a little different. It's an and inequality that's written together as one inequality. Okay? So our goal here is just to get the a alone in the middle by itself. So how do I get rid of 5? Well, I'm going to subtract it, but I have to do that 3 times. Sometimes kids will kind of make some lines here to remind themselves there's like 3 different sections. So I have -9, less than or equal to a, less than or equal to -4. Okay, so when you have an inequality written like this, your answer will always have less than symbols here, okay? It could be less than or equal to, but the arrows always need to be pointing this way. So let's graph it and then I'll explain why. So -9, closed circle, -4, closed circle, and I'm shading between. There's my solution. So a is between those two numbers. You always want to have your smallest number on this end and your bigger number on this end, because that will match the number line. So that's what makes the most logical sense when you're writing your answer. So you wouldn't have -4 greater than or equal to a greater than or equal to -9. That would not work as an answer. I mean, you wouldn't naturally get that, but let's say you did solve an inequality like this and you ended up where your symbols were flipped like this, you'd have to flip that around. You can't write your answer this way. Someone just decided that, but again, logically it doesn't make sense because on the number line, this is not where you find the -4 and the -9, like they're reversed. So just keep that in mind. The answer always has to have a less than or a less than or equal to in these two positions. Okay, last example here. Number 4. So again, it's written in that same format, which means it's an and inequality. Well, let's get the y alone. So we're going to add 4 3 times. So I get 2 less than 3y less than 18. I'm going to divide everything by 3. So I get 2/3 less than y less than 6. So open circle at 6, open circle at 2/3, just kind of estimate where that is, and then you're shading between. That's all there is to it. Thanks for watching.